2JZ no shit. We've all heard the phrase, but really, what makes the 2JZ so special?
No faith.
Oh, I have faith in you, but this isn't a junkyard. This is a garage.
Hey, pop the hood.
Pop the hood?
Pop the hood.
2JZ engine, no shit.
And what did I tell you?
The 2JZ GT engine is one of the best engines to come out of Japan, and it's no surprise. But what makes the 2JZ so special? Now, the 2JZ GTE engine is a 3-liter dual overhead cam, 24 valve, inline 6 pushing out around 320 horsepower and around 315 pound-feet of torque, which are pretty tame numbers by today's standards. So what makes it so great? So let's start with the design. This engine came out when Toyota was pretty much obsessed with reliability, quality, and durability. Since this was a boosted engine, Toyota pretty much took all the precautions they could to ensure the reliability and overbuilt almost every component of this engine. The 2JZ came with a meaty iron block, where most manufacturers today, they're coming out with lighter, thinner walled aluminum blocks. So this gave the 2JZ a strong base to build from. That iron block came with a nearly fully closed deck, which means it can withstand massive amounts of boost without cracking. The inline 6 design of the 2JZ provides an incredibly well-balanced rotating assembly. The inline 6 design is inherently more balanced than, say, more of the common V configurations you see in other cars with a V6 or a V8. This inline 6 design also gives the 2JZ the ability to run 7 main bearing caps, where you'd only have 4 on the V6 or 5 on a V8. These 7 bearing caps help provide extra stability and strength to the whole rotating assembly of the 2JZ. And these bearing caps were designed much thicker than what they really needed to be, considering the power output the 2JZ was designed for. Now, the rotating assembly of the 2JZ consisted of a factory forged crank and rods, and then also included some lightweight pistons, all built to the high 90s standards Toyota had for quality, reliability, and durability. The stock 2JZ is also a non-interference engine by design. The non-interference design means that the pistons and valves never intersect with one another. Now, on a stock engine, you can shred that timing belt and it's not going to damage the engine at all. Now, all that goes out the window once you start adding aftermarket cams with higher lift. So with all these components combined, the 2JZ has been known to double, even triple its factory horsepower without even opening up the engine, which is pretty ridiculous if you think about it. And this is why after 25 years, the 2JZ is still very popular in many motorsports, competing with engines that have a lot more technology at their disposal than what the 2JZ had when it was in development. With a few simple mods, say swapping out the sequential turbos for a single turbo, upgrade a fuel system, and probably an upgraded clutch, and then either a standalone ECU or some kind of piggyback ECU, a Supra can put out 700, 800 horsepower, no problem. And that's without even opening up the engine at all. I mean, not many engines can actually pull that off. And another reason why the 2JZ is so popular is the aftermarket support. You can pretty much buy any combination of rods and pistons, rotating assemblies, anything you want, valve train, cams. It's pretty much a huge market for this engine. So you can take the already strong components of this engine, swap them out with some aftermarket ones, and pretty much build it to support whatever horsepower numbers you want. And one of the best things about the 2JZ is it's pretty widely available. It was put in a lot of cars in Japan, so you can find them in the Aristos and all the JDM Supras. As the years go by, I think this won't be the case, because they will become rarer and rarer, but for now you can pick one up fairly cheap. And when you factor in how much power you can get out of these engines, they're a great deal. That's why you see them, they're so popular with the drift scene, drag racing. They can produce so much power with such little modifications, that's why they've become so popular. So that's my thoughts on why the 2JZ is so popular and such a great engine. If you think I missed anything, let me know in the comments, but for the most part I think I hit all the main topics on the 2JZ and why it's so strong and why it's so popular today. But I think that's going to be it for this one. I'll catch you on the next one.